Hello, everyone, and welcome to Twillow Talk. I'm Tanys Coughlan from the Twillow Lifestyle Community, Twillow Lifestyle Academy, and I am joined today by my beautiful co-host, Jennifer Jurkofsky, who is on location.
I am, and I was making a face when we first came on because I didn't hear any of the sound. Like I didn't get to dance to the music or anything, so I don't know what happened. It might have just been me. Anywho.
Well, you guys let us know if you heard the sound, please. I did, but
Okay.
It's my StreamYard, so.
It totally could have been me.
Well, being on location, that'll do it.
It's different. It's unique.
Yeah.
We were talking earlier. The energies are all over the place. Who knows what's going on?
They are indeed. And we have an awesome guest, Jay Jackson, all the way here from Ecuador today. So we're going to have an awesome talk about energy and crystals and whatever else comes up, as we usually do. For now, let's do the weather and see what is going on. We want to say hi to Nalani first.
Oh, hello.
Nalani, welcome. And we have Cody.
Hey, Cody.
Welcome. And let's take a look at this. So our Schumann is up around 33, which is moderate. We're going to feel it, but it's not like some where we've had like 60 and 80 and all that. So not as bad as we have had. I mean, bad being a high as we have had, because it's not really bad. It's all good. Well, it is. I mean, it's happening for us, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's to help raise our vibration. So it's all good. The solar flares have been quieter lately. Doesn't mean we have not had an awful lot of downloads, because we definitely have. And if we look at our KP index, a little bit high over the weekend, but settling down again now. So we'll move in to our transits. What are those neutrinos doing, Jen?
And I don't have the cards with me this time. And I think I forgot to show them last time too, because that's just like how it is. And I have my notes on my phone now because, stuff is what it is. We're making do today. So today we are in the gate 33, and we're going to be in this gate until the 6th, when we're going to transition into the gate 7. So the gate 33 moves us from the shadow of forgetting to the siddhi, or the enlightened state of revelation, through the gift of mindfulness. So if you saw the energy update that I put out yesterday, you're going to see if the energy this week is having you bring back old memories, think about, running conversations through your head, just reminiscing about things. It's not that you're going backwards. And so often we think like, oh, I'm going backwards. Why am I revisiting this and all of that? But this is the beautiful thing, because momentum and progress is sometimes being able to go back to something and seeing it in a whole new way with a very new perspective. And so that's really what the energy this week is inviting us into. It's that ability to reflect. That shadow of forgetting is all about not taking the wisdom from past experiences and bringing it forward. But the more that we are able to allow ourselves that reflection time and everything else, that siddhi, that revelation comes through. And that is going to be beautiful energy going into the 7, because the 7 energy is going to be all about self-leadership. It's that ability for us to tap into where we want to go next. So as we're exploring, okay, what is it about this past experience that's coming forward? What is it that maybe I am now ready to learn or understand that I wasn't ready to learn or understand at that point in time? That's going to help us make space for releasing. Remember, we're still coming off of that full moon energy. We're still releasing, and we're going to be all the way through until the transit changes. And that transit change, once we get into that, let me actually give you the affirmation for the 33. It's, I honor the rhythm of experience and reflection. I make space for stillness, remembering, and integration. As I pause with compassion, life reveals its deeper wisdom. Okay, and then as we move into the seven energy is going to move us from the shadow of division into the siddhi of virtue through the gift of guidance. This is where community and family and relationship are all going to come into play. So we're doing this remembering so that we can have greater insights in how we want to lead ourselves in those connections and become really good, wise stewards of the path that we want to bring forward. Because all of this energy is leading us up to this coming Saturday, which is Lionsgate. And Lionsgate energy is going to bring that strength and direction. And so we want to be able to use this reflection time to guide us in the releasing, because every time we release something, we can make space for something new. So it's going to help us in determining what we want that new to be, help us lead into that energy, and then make that commitment by the end of the week and moving onward.
Awesome. Yeah, Lionsgate energy. No wonder. Yes, I knew that. So, Jay, thank you, Jen. We'll put we will copy that into the comments later on after. I think,
while Jay's sharing, I can maybe see if I can type it out on the computer.
Okay. You have to pay attention to me during this, Jennifer.
I'm still listening to you. I am totally still listening. I'm so excited to hear all about what you do.
She is a mom. She can definitely do that.
Except that my multitasking meant I just put affirmation in the
It's okay.
Yeah, I can multitask to a point. So yes, let's hear all about you, Jay.
I'm grateful to be here because Tanys and I have gone back for several years and just love each other's work that we do, and so I'm grateful to be here. So I'm in Ecuador. So many Canadians and people from the U.S. Are expats living here in my little community where I moved to. Nice. And it's just a beautiful community high up in the Andes Mountains. So I've got 2 extinct volcanoes, one on either side of me. I've got multiple indigenous communities surrounding me. It's spring here every day because we're right at the equator. The sun rises at 6, the sun sets at 6, given about 15, 20 minutes on either side of it. That's about it. And it's been a beautiful journey for me because it's been able to allow me to focus on what I truly love, which is being able to help people heal and learn about healing. And so I've been teaching Reiki classes for over 2 decades. Mm-hmm. And working with crystals for, I don't want to say how old I am, but
since birth.
Since birth, many years. So I've been
since previous lives, I would assume.
Previous life, actually true. But I grew up in a kind of a cool environment for crystals, and learning about crystals. I grew up in East Central Oregon, which, over on the western side of the U.S., and it's very remote little community, kind of a dry climate, but we're high up in the Blue Mountains, and we had significant amount of wilderness area around us. And my dad worked for the Forest Service, and he'd worked for the Forest Service since he was 19 years old. So he knew the mountains around there, the back of the hands, and those were just our old stomping grounds. And we could pick up agates, we would pick up obsidian, Apache teardrops, and my dad had a giant rock saw where we could saw open, the thunder eggs. Nice. And so we had tons of rocks to play with. We could find serpentine and agates in the river. So I was always playing with rocks. And then when I was later in my teen years, I learned how to facet precious gemstones. My dad and I both learned how, which my dad has significant vision issues. So he had, when he was a teenager, he was shot in the back of the head with a .22 rifle that we just normally would perceive. Mm-hmm. And so I tell people that crystals are really what got me interested in Reiki, because it was those magical moments that led me to it. So I've been teaching for many years. I tell people that Reiki has saved my life, literally. It was through Reiki that when we're going through those life transitions, I had Reiki, and it navigated me through that, and I was able to transform beautifully. Heard the message. It's not alcohol. And then then it just, so Spirit told me, because I knew that she had an issue with alcoholism for many, many years ago that she, was recovering from.
Mm-hmm.
And so Spirit said, it was basically saying, lay off her, don't judge her. It's not alcohol. It's just Coke.
Yes.
And yes, she would be better off not drinking so much. But yeah, Spirit said, let her drink Diet Coke. It's not alcohol. So I've really appreciated the knowing that, okay, I'm not the only one who's going through that type of an experience, because I relived that in the back of going to the back of the trunk of the taxi, clear as day, and then heard that message, and they're just fascinating. So I think that for me, that's what Reiki does, is it helps us to slow down so that we can listen to the messages from the divine. And it also helps us to be present, to allow those frequencies without our interference to do the healing work. So as for many years of practicing, my intention was always to help other people heal. And if I have that intention that I want somebody to heal, I'm going to put all my effort into helping them heal. And what am I doing when I'm doing that? I'm putting my energy into it, which is less than healing.
Yeah.
Even as good as my intentions are. So that's one of the beautiful things about Reiki that I've learned, is that I have to step away from the outcome. Mm-hmm. I can't be, involved in the outcome, and I get to step back, just allow those divine energies to flow. And then when they flow, the messages that I hear, they're not meant for me. They're meant for that person. I'm only interpreting them. So because my interpretation may be different, it may not be 100% true. So unless I'm specifically told, say something to this client, I've now learned just to suspend that and just let them have the experience. It's not my journey, it's their journey.
Yeah.
And so that just, one of the little insights, that I've been having. And last week, another insight, partying with my friend with her non-alcoholic Coke.
Yes.
is so just the concept of judging. And so, we have the Reiki principles, just for today, being present. Just for today, do not be angry. Just for today, do not worry. Just for today, work hard, diligently in your work, and be kind to every living thing. Just for today, do not judge. And how many of us judge?
Mm-hmm.
And another friend this last couple of weeks, she had taken her dog to this restaurant where we were having a band playing, and the dog got scared, and she had this little issue, and she shared with me later that, oh yeah, I see that person, I would see her looking like coming in there like, so she was feeling other people's judgment. And so then this last Saturday, we were at the same place, and then there was a little girl on a scooter scooting in and out of the dance floor. And it just and we kind of laughed, and the mom moved her, which actually moved her further into the dance floor. And we were kind of saying sometimes going, yep, and guess what we're doing? We're judging, just like our other friend was judging when you had your dog. So
yeah,
just for today, do not judge.
Mm-hmm.
And then just for today, do not judge ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So so much self-judgment. In my work, I love supporting my students. I love helping them progress, see what their potential is. When I'm teaching classes, I love for them to experience the energies. It's not me, it's the energies that they're going to experience. So I really love that. And I love seeing them grow independently. I've learned that dependence is unhealthy.
Yes.
Because a lot of us, because we want repeat business, don't we? Yeah, we love repeat business.
Yeah, but not at their detriment.
Yeah, not at the expense of creating dependency. I want to create independence, but I'm still going to be open as a resource to them to be able to come through.
It's so funny. I tell my clients, like, my job is to work myself out of a job.
Exactly.
That's the goal of my job.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah, totally. So, so I'm a former ICU nurse. So just as a little bit of background, I worked in intensive care units in Utah and Nevada through COVID. Lost my husband 4 years ago in May. He passed away. And so then I was just kind of in that, what do I do now? And found out that my nursing job, I was a workaholic.
I can relate to that.
Yeah. I worked, and helping to support other people and you name it. But what it was doing is it was preventing me from doing the work that I was really meant to do. I was doing good work, yes, but I was meant to do other things. And so I kind of was settling down into just this normal job kind of, thing. And I got a different position with an inpatient hospice company. And I loved the work, but hated the charting. And I was still working at the hospital because,
got to pay the bills.
Got to pay the bills. And you need to have at least 2 jobs, if not 3. And but then I went to a retreat, a Reiki retreat. And the International Center for Reiki Training usually has their retreats in September. And so one of my friends there, she said, Jay, I'm going to go to Ecuador. Do you want to come with me? And I was going, yes. Oh my gosh, yes. I always had a feeling that I would move to South America. I had no idea where, but I knew. And I said, yes. And she goes, I am thinking about moving there. I said, really? Tell me more. And she said, I'm the only one crazy enough to say, tell me more. And so then she told me about this little town, Cotacachi, Ecuador. I looked it up, just fell in love with everything that I was seeing, and started looking at houses before we even came. And we were planning on coming the next January. I just started getting so excited that I called her up and I said, no, we have to go sooner. So we ended up changing our flights and came in November.
Nice.
And we just had so much fun and got to see all the beautiful things that are here. And so I started the process by January, then I purchased my lot that I built my house on. Yes. And so then that was kind of my process of moving here and now being able to work full time, just doing what I love and creating resources for my students, creating space. And I can't work as a nurse here. So now I'm in this mode. Okay, my licenses are going to lapse. That needs to happen, right? It needs to happen. I need to let my licenses lapse because that's no longer a part of who I am. Yeah. It was a beautiful journey. So so I'm traveling through that part of my journey. And and I love it here because it's very peaceful and calm. And what questions do you have? I love questions.
Yeah. So if you guys have questions in our audience, please send them in. Because we can put them up on the screen.
And I also teach Reiki crystal healing classes as well. So, so I teach 3 levels of Reiki crystal healing classes. So I do the Reiki crystal healing fundamentals, which is just the basics, and then Reiki crystal healing advanced topics for the practitioner, and then a master level.
Beautiful.
And my classes are a little different than probably most that are out there. I'm not as concerned so much about the meaning of each stone.
Mm-hmm.
That's valuable. That's good information to have. But developing the communication and the connection to the divinity of the crystal is really what the classes are all about. So now the crystals will talk. And I've learned, like, even little things like programming, I'm taking that out of my language.
Mm-hmm. I'm
not going to program my crystal, because what is that doing to the crystal? I had this awareness that I'm enslaving the crystal when I quote unquote program it.
Mm-hmm.
And so then that shifted, awareness shifted. I can co-create. They love to co-create.
Love that.
Yes.
So we co-create and work together. And then but we're working as not in a hierarchy. Because honestly, if there's anything, I'm down the pole from the hierarchy.
Exactly. Yeah, we are.
Yeah, you poor flesh and blood soul. I've been here for millions and millions of years, and you want to program me.
You're so young.
You're so young.
I think this is so important and valuable.
So this one have a name.
Yes, Bonita.
Bonita.
She gave me her name.
So Bonita, did you come from South America?
That is
so it was a name like Bonita, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Could
she came to me in New York, but obviously from South America somewhere. That I'm hearing Brazil, so
probably Brazil.
That's what I'm hearing. Yeah. So she spoke to me and yelled at me from across the aisle, and was like, "Excuse me." So I knew I had to bring her home, and then I put her into the van because we were shopping and stuff. So we get in the van to go somewhere, and I can just hear her from the back. Excuse me.
She's so polite. Persistent, but polite.
Very persistent. And I'm like, yes. My name is Bonita. I'm like, okay, Bonita. Maybe just have a little nap for now. I'm here to help you with love. Universal love. And I'm like, okay. Cool. So we'll chat. Okay. And then she was gone. So that's Bonita. So she has come and had conversations with us and all sorts of stuff. So
I had an amethyst cluster. Well, not cluster, geode.
Yep.
And she would boss my husband around. Now, mind you, he didn't get into any of this. He wasn't woo-woo. Oh, but she talked to him, and he heard her.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. But he wouldn't admit to being woo-woo. Right. So she would tell him, I need to be moved over here. No one can see me where I'm at. I need to be in a better light, or it's too noisy in here. Would you move me back over here? And so she would boss him around, and and
I love
he would listen, and he would do it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So this. Look at this little rock.
Oh, nice.
This is just a piece of rock that I found in the road here a few weeks ago. It's got like a vein of quartz type material in it, and it's kind of a dense serpentine around it.
Yeah.
And I usually like formed quartz type crystals, actually crystalline material. But I thought this is kind of cool. I liked the color and the shape. So I've just had it sitting on my desk. And the other day, I was doing a mentor session with a couple of students, and I was just holding it. And then all of a sudden, it started speaking to me. And it was going, oh my gosh, it has such huge purpose.
Oh,
the fact that I brought it home, put it on my desk, and I've been working it, and it's mostly serpentine. And so, yeah, I'm not sure what the role is. We haven't established that yet, but it has a definite purpose.
Very nice.
So I have crystals that I work with. So like, for instance, like I have this amethyst torch that I use as a personal tool.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have my aquamarine crystal that I have here. And so I work with them in tandem together. So aquamarine goes in my left hand. And if I can get this to turn right, yeah, like that. So then I got my aquamarine and my right there. And so then I'll work with these two. Now, these are my two main meditation helpers. So they help me with meditations. And then I have other crystals that I work with clients that love helping with clients. But these two say, no, Berlin, just for you. We're just going to work with you.
Yeah.
So I had literally hundreds upon pounds of quartz crystals, Lemurian quartz crystals, and from Brazil. And I had my drug dealer from Brazil, which was just quartz crystals. I'd get these shipments from Brazil.
Yeah.
And the supply is completely dried up. And so that supplier is no longer has crystals for sale.
Oh no.
And so, so I have to be happy with the ones that I currently have.
Yeah.
But it's just interesting when you start working with some of these crystals and start understanding their purpose and how they want to help us to evolve.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They've been listening to every single vibration on this planet since the creation of time.
Mm-hmm.
They know so much. They're and completely wise and intuitive to us. And sometimes they want to help, and sometimes no. Try Fred over here. Fred would be really good with that particular problem.
Mm-hmm.
So learn to listen, learn to be perceptive, learn to, again to listen.
Yeah.
So back in, it was 2009, I think it was. I went to Sedona, Arizona, and took crystal healing classes with Laurel Shantigaya, who was just one of the most beautiful, beautiful angelic beings. Who was very connected to source. And so I was taking 4 days of classes. So we had 2 days of class and then a break and 2 days of class. So I was driving from Utah down to Sedona, Arizona, and I was driving down Highway 89, and which then takes me through the kind of the remote part of southern Utah, and driving between Zion's National Monument and Bryce's National Monument, and down around the Grand Canyon to Flagstaff, and then down into Sedona. And I had been preparing for this class for months. So literally months I've been preparing for the class. And I was most prepared for that class than any other class I've ever taken in my life. And it was my first time to Sedona, and I was just floating. I was seeing crystal cities floating in the sky around me, and the energy of the class was just absolutely incredible. And on that day in between the break, I went up on a little hike, and I went up into an area that was not the traditional spot where you go to. It wasn't one of the portal spots or, vortex energies. But I found my own vortex, basically.
Nice.
I saw the plants singing to me.
Oh, awesome.
I could see the energy of the plants singing to me. So the plants were interconnected with the crystal energy in that awareness. And, no, I wasn't on any mind-altering substance. It was just crystals.
You're just very connected.
Just being connected. And then I later went on a hike, and I could hear the birds singing to me. It was like as if they were singing to me. Mm-hmm. And then I went and paid a lot of money that I thought was a lot of money to have a session with Laurel. And yes, at the time it was a lot of money, but I can tell you it was one of the most transformative experiences that I ever had, having that particular special and connecting with my Lemurian connections. And so having those Lemurian connections. And so that was just an absolute beautiful experience that I was able to have. And I think we all have the opportunity to have those types of experiences. So being prepared, preparing ourselves, and being able to listen and to receive. It's really, really the important aspect of being able to receive and listen. When we talk about our throat chakra, I tell people, my class students, I think our ears are also part of the throat chakra, because what's part of communication? It's not just speaking, but it's also listening.
Yeah.
So that's Bella. What are you saying, Bella?
Hi, Bella.
So yeah.
She's emphasizing the listening.
Listen. Oh, I'm not listening to Bella. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry, Bella. So that's one of the beauties I have here in Ecuador, is that unfortunately we have a lot of street dogs that are here. And so I've got my Bella. She's a little bit bigger girl. And then I've got my little Sally, who's a little street dog. She's all brindle. And so yeah, they try to keep me sane. It's a big job.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Beautiful.
Oh, we have a couple here. Comments. So Cody says, I've been working with prophecy stones lately. It's very different than the other crystals I have.
Yeah.
Prophecy stones are pretty cool.
Yeah. They help ground all that energy in us. It's really lovely. Hey, Rachel.
Grounding. Well, see, grounding is that's what's, in any kind of energy work that we do, grounding is so important. And so that's why the prophecy stones work well, because they have the grounding energies to it. And so what happens when there's electricity in the air? It doesn't do much for us until you have a conduit. Yeah, you just
it does that.
When there's electricity in the air, I tend to get a little.
when we're grounded, then we can hold the big charge, not just this. So when we're grounded, then boom, the energy is going down into the ground, and we're able to be a much larger battery of energy, and we can hold higher frequencies. And so working with those stones that will help us to take us into those other realms are really, really important. Maybe that's what you're not really a prophecy stone, but maybe so. We'll see. We'll have to talk.
It's over there going, you're onto something.
You're onto something.
There we go.
At least that's the energy it felt when you lifted it into this. Like,
you see some of the veins of the quartz matrix that's in it, which is, for me, is unusual.
Beautiful.
When I found serpentine, where I was growing up, it was just all serpentine. But
Nice.
But so using crystals for different aspects within our life and using them as tools or companions, and asking them how they would like us to be used.
I love
so one of my experience long before Reiki, I was away from home. I was married to my ex-wife and we had kids, and we'd go back and visit my parents. And I always loved going into this little room, and it was actually designed as a pantry, but he took it over as his faceting room. And I always loved seeing the projects he was working on. And this particular time, I went in, bebopping into the room, and boom, I got blasted with this negative energy.
Ooh.
And I just go, whoa, because my dad was one of the most peaceful energies you would ever meet.
Yeah.
And I was going, what in the heck is that? That was just totally floored me. And I look up on the shelf right at eye level, and there's these big hunks of ametrine. So ametrine has both amethyst and citrine in them. And these were beautiful, beautiful stones. crystal clear. I mean, just perfectly clear. And then I realized that energy was coming from them. But these were not in a natural form. They were broken chunks. And so what I realized that these were mined in a very violent way, just broken up, and they were not happy. And it was just really interesting. And what was fascinating is that my dad never knew how to cut them. He could never figure out how to cut them. And he ended up taking them and putting them in a rock polisher and just polishing them down. So they were just actually very small polishing, because he just couldn't ever figure, because their energy was just, he just couldn't figure out how to cut them.
Well, they needed some trauma healing too.
They needed trauma healing, yes.
Yeah.
But by being there in that environment over many years, they did calm down.
Yeah.
And they did accept it. And so now I actually do have a couple of the pieces that were polished down. But it was just fascinating for me to be able to experience that energy, that they were really upset that the way they were mined. And so that was a big, beautiful lesson for me to think about the mining.
Yeah.
Look about the diamond industry. And of course, most of the diamonds that are mined are not going in for fashion. Most of it's industrial. It's going into industrial use. But we're mining diamonds 2 miles deep into the core of the earth. What do you think that's doing to the energetic balance of the planet?
Yeah.
Energetically, it's fun. Now, there are diamonds that you can find more on the surface of the planet. They love to be collected. They love it. So the old, your old, what they call the old mine diamonds, the more antique diamonds that you can find, they're usually very, very happy and pleasant. But a lot of the other diamonds, they feel like they're being abused, being taken over.
Yeah.
I did have the experience. So I was always interested in the Hope diamond. So the Hope diamond is this inky blue diamond. It's a fairly decent sized stone. And there was all this folklore about it, how it was cursed, the owners, and all this other kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And so prior to being a nurse, I worked for the cell phone company. And I would have to go back to Washington, D.C., because I was working with federal accounts. And so I had the opportunity to go to the Museum of Natural History, where the Hope Diamond's at. And my whole purpose of going into that museum was to meet the Hope Diamond. But there were so many incredible exhibits and beautiful stones. It was just amazing. But then I got to meet the Hope Diamond and connect with it. And there was nothing evil about the Hope Diamond. Nothing at all. And so, in fact, one of the stories about one of the original ladies who had it, I think it was during World War I, very, very wealthy lady. And she would go to the hospitals to meet the injured soldiers. And she would wear it on her necklace. And she would take it off and just pass it, let them pass it around, hold it and handle it. And so she was a very heart-centered person who had it. And so I just connected with it and just said, I'm happy to be here, because here I'm not having people trying to possess me, trying to take over me, and I can just be here. What's really interesting about the Hope Diamond is that if you put it under black light, it fluoresces red.
Ooh.
And they have no idea as why.
Fascinating.
So whether it comes from alien material, some material that's not normally produced, the only way they could do that would be to cut pieces out of it, which would destroy it. to be able to determine what was causing that stone, what elements in that stone that's causing it to fluoresce red. I'm not, as much of a geologist when it comes to that to know all the nuances, but that was just kind of an amazing thing that, there's probably something a lot more to it.
Absolutely.
To that stone. So just stones are just really, really cool. And then, of course, with our animals, learning to listen to our animals. That's another thing that Reiki can do for us. Listening to our plants. How many decades ago were people talking about talking to their plants? Yeah. Guess what? Yeah, it's real.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
So
go ahead.
We do have a couple of comments here that we can get. So Rachel says,
got an onyx that's been helping ground. Yeah. And then this weird experience happened yesterday. So it says, my family wanted to get sushi for whatever reason, knew to not go into that restaurant. And they actually listened to me talk about intuitive knowing and still no idea why. And that's okay.
That's okay.
As long as we know and we honor it.
And the fact that your family was willing to listen.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That's awesome.
Because I'm afraid what would have happened had you gone to get sushi.
Yeah. Probably something not so good.
Yeah.
And Cody says, I found a few cool stones out in Central Oregon where I'm living, but I'm not sure what they are yet.
So, Cody, what part of Central Oregon are you in?
That's the
question. So, Bend is right in where?
He's in the mountains.
Well, there's a lot of mountains.
Yeah, I know, but that's all I know. Maybe Cody can fill us in.
There's a lot of sunstones.
There we go.
So sunstone. Oh, with Lapine. Oh, you're taking me back home. So I grew up in John Day, the community of John Day is where I grew up. So just a little bit farther east of where he's at. But just south of Lapine in Bend area, there's a lot of sunstones. So there's the Oregon sunstones. So if you have the opportunity to go there, there's the plush sunstones that you can go and collect. And that was the first stones I was learning to facet, was the sunstones. And the lady who was teaching us had their own mine. And we would go out and collect them. And so some of them have these beautiful brilliant orange colors and greenish colors, and then copper schiller. And so they're actually facetable stones. And so I encourage you to go and look at some of the digging sites, because there are some areas that are free, open to go and mine out there. And so, and sending lots of love to Oregon right now because of the fires that are out in that area. So I know my county, there's a lot of fire.
Ooh, fire people.
I know. I didn't never find a lot of opal, but my dad had some pieces of beautiful opal. He had a giant piece, this giant rock that was just totally encapsulated with opal. And I don't know whatever happened to it.
Sounds
it was so beautiful. So some fire opal. But so what I normally collected just growing up was obsidian. We had tons of obsidian. We had red obsidian as well as the black obsidian. And then the patchy teardrops, which are just beautiful little perfectly formed little raindrops of obsidian that came down. And then the sunstones that were a little bit farther south of us. But then the agates, a lot of different agates and geodes that you could collect. There were also some incredible gem cutters that used to be anyway in the Bend area that would cut giant stones and just make this huge giant gem art with these giant stones. So absolutely beautiful. So Yeah, so when I was growing up, Lapine and even Bend were small little towns. Bend's not so small anymore, but so absolutely beautiful, taking me back home there.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, what are your thoughts on Moldavite?
I am not a huge fan of Moldavite.
Okay.
Because there's so much Moldavite that's artificially created.
Yeah.
Because what is Moldavite? Moldavite is green glass. And it was created by different meteorites coming down and hitting the field, but it's not the meteorite itself. So it doesn't have the elements of the meteorite in it per se, but it was just created by the pressure and the heat that the meteorite had. So, well, I still think it has some unique properties. I don't get overly excited with it. And I'm sure at some point I'm going to find one that's going to say, Jay, wake up, slap me in the face. But that hasn't happened. So after Mount St. Helens erupted, we would take the ash, and there were companies that would melt the ash down and create green stones like Moldavite. But it was actually made it was even a little bit more vibrant and green than what most Moldavites are. And then we would facet that, and it made created beautiful, beautiful stones from the ash from Mount St. Helens.
Beautiful.
So yeah, finding an actual asteroid bit, meteorite bit, and that would probably intrigue my interests a lot more.
I'm sure.
But that's just my take. But there's so many stones out there that are artificially created, and some have value, and so I have artificially grown quartz. So you can get quartz that's actually grown, and yes, it has the lattice internal structure as a regular quartz crystal.
Yeah,
but it doesn't have quite the same historic intelligence that a natural quartz crystal has.
Yeah, that would be the difference, right?
So that's the difference.
So here's one. Feel into this one.
So I can't see that. Keep turning it. Keep turning it. Has it got blue color in it, or is it just picking up color?
It's just quartz. Yeah, it's just quartz. Sorry, he just was like, "I'm not just quartz."
Quartz is honestly, quartz is one of the stones in the world.
So this is
there's a master communicator.
This is special around this time of year. This is a quartz that was placed in the Giza pyramids during a lion's gate. So it was energized there.
Energized by the Giza.
Yeah.
So I do work with a modality called All Love. Are you familiar with that?
No.
It's a type of Sikkim energy. You might have heard of Sikkim Reiki.
So Jen is a practitioner. I just took my level 1 from her.
So Patrick Ziegler. I don't know if you're familiar with Patrick Ziegler. So he's the one who developed the Sikkim energies from. Well, Sikkim is a kind of a generic term, anyway, but he developed it from after meditation in the pyramids in Giza like 40, 50 years ago. And so he used to call it Sikkim. So there is some talk that some of the energies from Karuna Reiki originate from that original Sikkim frequencies. But now he's upgraded it, and now he just calls it All Love. And it's very, very simplified.
Nice.
And it is an intense energy that works, really within our bodily structure.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'll be going for 8-day retreat with Patrick Ziegler in Wisconsin in September.
Nice.
And I've taken a 4-day class with him and started shaking things out. There's a lot of vibrations in the body when you're going through that. And so one of the things that I have learned in my healing journey is that I learned to be quiet. Even though I'm kind of an emotional type person, I stopped crying at a certain age, bottled it all up. Then I worked as a nurse. Guess what? If I allowed myself to feel everything that I was experiencing, I couldn't have lasted a week. And so I learned to turn off all those emotions. I turned them all off. And so this type of frequency is helping me to open up to those frequencies and being able to embody the different emotions and to allow the healing that needs to take place so that I can feel, so that I can cry at a movie and it would be okay when I have an emotion, So there's a lot that's doing it. So the pyramids of Giza, the beautiful energies are there's sacred geometry within the Giza and within those pyramids. So if you probably have heard of the term Vogel crystals. So I've studied for many years, long before I even knew about Reiki, about Marcel Vogel. Marcel Vogel was just an IBM scientist. He got to play as an IBM scientist. He created magnetic tape for IBM and then sold his company to IBM. And by selling it, he got to be an IBM scientist and just play in their labs.
Nice.
And he created the Vogel crystal and started using Vogel healing with the Vogel crystals. And they were cut on the inspiration of the angles of the pyramids in Giza.
Nice.
So yeah, look at all these little synchronicities coming through, coming forth. So in my intermediate class, it includes a whole day just on working with that sacred geometry of the Vogel crystal, which also has reference to Kabbalistic, esoteric Jewish belief systems. So yeah, and guess what? We are so lucky to be able to live in a time and age where we can experience each of these vibrations.
That's true.
How many people have had that opportunity to experience various forms of Reiki, various forms of crystals, having access to crystals, being allowed to have that intuition, and being able to have the strength to have that intuition and to talk publicly on it.
Yeah, exactly.
It hasn't been that many years ago. We would have been shunned, but more of us out there are interested in this and know about these types of energies. And so now we're just getting into an age where we can be open and free about it. So water, witching, divining for water is, that's ancient. That goes back for years. And, you always said, okay, all of these people who are, religious, and they go, but if you want a good will, you better get this, person with these rods and he'll go and find the best well.
Yeah.
And so I can remember when I was in my late teens, we were moving up closer to we're right on the edge of the forest line. And we were trying to find a well up there. And so we had the metal rods. So you usually have rods, or you had a stick that was in a kind of in a V shape. But we had the rods. And my grandmother had these rods, and my grandmother was a little psychic anyway. And she was going through with this water witching, and all of a sudden the rods started going, Yeah, there we are. It started going crazy, and she wasn't controlling him, and she started screaming and hooping and hollering. And my poor dad thought she had stepped on a rattlesnake or something.
Oh my.
Running over there. It was just the rods were going crazy, and
Yeah. That's awesome.
So yeah, so I mean those were things like it worked. So yeah, we'll let that witchy stuff come in, and so I have so much gratitude for living in the world that we live in and being able to connect with people like you and people who are watching this.
Mm-hmm.
What a beautiful time to live and being able to have these types of energies that we're working with.
Absolutely. And it's interesting, we didn't mention it at the beginning, but you and I met during COVID because we were online. And that's something, there was a lot of stuff that happened with COVID, and a lot of it was negative, but there was some beautiful things that came out of it as well. It really helped to connect us around the globe more than ever before.
To the globe.
Yeah.
And it opened us up to the opportunity to be able to talk to our neighbors in another country.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
It is just so cool that we can cross timelines, we can cross time zones, and I've had students now from Europe, in Asia, as well as South America and North America, and people of all kinds of religions and backgrounds. I've had students who are Muslim, Jewish, Christian, pagan, agnostic, you name it. And guess what? We all get along perfectly fine.
Exactly.
And we all talk the same language because it's all energy.
Exactly.
Yes, we may have different definitions, and that's okay. And it doesn't bother us that someone else has a different perspective. It's okay.
That's what makes life rich, is having different perspectives.
I love their perspectives.
Yeah.
And so I grew up Mormon. I was a good LDS boy. That's why I got married. That's why I was married for 18 years. Because I was trying to do the best I could under what I believed.
Yeah.
But then with the energies started to help me to be able to transform, and helped me to be able to become authentic who I was.
Yeah.
And then I now have a much more richer life. Nothing wrong with the Mormon religion. Nothing.
No, it's just that everybody has to choose their own tool.
Our own tool, our own path. And so I still honor my family members who follow that religious belief system, but I've been able to move to a different realm. Mm-hmm. And that has opened me up to the beauties of other people's, their visions, their perspectives. Yeah. And I love being able to see other people's perspectives. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, makes life rich, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So we may be really, really rich. Our bank accounts may not show up, but we're really, I live a life that's just absolutely incredible. And I would never change that. I would never give that up.
Yeah. And I say that all the time. I'm blessed to be able to love what I do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Because so many people don't. So I think that in
they don't. Itself, no, they are so many people feel stuck. Mm-hmm. I know that many of my students that come through, they're looking for a way out, and they're not even sure what out means.
Yeah.
But they're knowing that there is something more beyond what they're experiencing. And so these are the tools that we have opportunity to let them try out and play with. Some are going to go full force with them and do a lot with them. Others are just going to collect a few little resources, and their lives are going to change. And that's what it's all about, helping people have the tools that they can use.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So,
absolutely.
That's whether it's tools of rock or whether it's a divining rod.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A quartz piece, the quartz that was in the Lion's Gate in Giza. Oh my gosh. So I plant crystals wherever I go.
Very nice.
So, so when I've traveled, I always will plant a crystal, and then I energetically connect with all those crystals. So, like, I have a crystal outside of the Vatican in Rome.
Nice.
That means that I connect with. Connect with them all over because they're just like little waypoints.
Mm-hmm.
This is a Vatican stone.
A Vatican stone?
Yeah.
Tell me about a Vatican stone.
I was told that it's from the catacombs under the Vatican.
Okay.
He's sleepy right now because I haven't been using him very much.
But I bet it has stories.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
sure.
It has stories, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And not always good stories.
No. No, but it's fascinating.
Yes, right?
And then this one is from Stonehenge. It's hard to see with my.
Now, have you gone to Stonehenge?
I was there when I was little, like 12. I haven't been there since. So I'm anxious to go back at some point.
So I want to plant a crystal near Stonehenge so badly. And I know that you're not allowed to plant crystals in Stonehenge because we all want to do it. And we will disrupt the energy of Stonehenge by doing it. But
yeah,
I still would love to have that connection. So my genetic makeup is at least 75% English. And not just Great Britain, but English. And so I have not been able to go back to go visit England in this incarnation. And
it's okay.
I want
you
to.
Can tap
I want
in
to so bad.
You just astral travel. You're good.
I do astral travel all the time. I astral travel all the time. You betcha I do.
Awesome. Well, I can't believe it's been an hour already.
I know.
It goes so fast. So you don't.
I don't have home play for us, but what keeps coming is talk to your crystals.
Okay,
that's listen to your crystals.
Yeah, listen to them. It's you were sharing about all of that, and whether it's a crystal or a flower or whatever, always asking permission before you pick it up, asking permission before you pick a flower, right? Just always asking and seeing what the response is and honoring that, and then learning from them.
On my way into town, there's always flowers growing here every day. And there's these absolutely gorgeous flowers growing. And I just sat and just took a moment just to offer gratitude for what it was doing. Recognizing those little beauties within the earth that we have. The microscopic little spider that I saw this morning, it was almost like a Vaseline glass colored, translucent looking little spider. Man, that was just a divine moment. Just being able to see those divine moments that are all around us constantly.
Yeah, that's it. And slowing down enough
to notice it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Jay, for coming.
Just thank you guys. Just know that I love you both and love the work that you do.
Thank you. Likewise. Please stay on, okay, after the show. And we shall wish the rest of you farewell for this week, and we shall see you in another week. See you soon. Take care now.
Have a good one, you guys.